Hello, Olga. I forgot to say this time zone actually would reach Russia as well, because this is geared for places like India or other places in Middle East. I mean, places in Middle East, Australia, Hong Kong. But I forgot, yes, it actually does fit the time zone that would be in Moscow, because it's mostly nighttime everywhere else, but in Middle East, Russia, Hong Kong and Australia, India, it's all daytime. So hope you had a good evening and you're fresh and ready to go for your Saturday, I believe. Yep, that's right. It is 11:35 here, and you guys are about 11 and a half hours or 11 hours ahead. What is it, 11 or 10 and a half, something like that. Well, tonight I'm taking a break from the usual activities, and I thought I will share some time with our friends in Australia or India, Hong Kong, now Russia, and Middle East, as usually they're neglected because of the time zone difference. Usually I conduct these live talks in the afternoons, Pacific West Coast time, and that means they're all sleeping. So how's your day been so far, Olga? And what's on your mind at this time? You feeling better? And let me know, how is the voice quality tonight? Ah, my dear friend Ra. What are you doing up? You're in the same time zone as I am. I'm doing it because I have to reach people in India and Hong Kong, Australia, and Middle East and so on. Now Olga is online, who's from Russia. But you must have had a, what is it, 11:37. You should be getting ready to rest, I guess. So, oh my goodness, now we have Nina here. 2:37 a.m. Where are you, Nina? Okay, I'm glad that the sound is okay, and I love to hear from every one of you how the sound quality is, because as you know, we've had such a challenging week in order to tweak this thing enough and to get the voice quality okay, and because it was lagging so much I couldn't have the video on, so I'm having the still picture and the voice. We have Shobha Lula says hi from India. Aha, finally this time zone is specifically arranged, this live talk, to reach India time zone, because they always seem to be neglecting them as far as time zone. We are always conducting these in the morning or afternoon, which is in India is nighttime, and they cannot participate in the live talk. Now Nina is from United States. Now Nina, United States is pretty big last time I checked, so you might want to let us know. If it's 2:37, I can guess you're in East Coast, obviously. definitely 3 hours ahead, somewhere in New York, Buffalo, somewhere there, I think. So Shobha is India. And it would be helpful when you ask me a question to let me know how old you are. And if it's not clear from your question, if you're a man or woman, it would help me to know how old you are and if you're a man or woman, so I can address it properly, so I don't have to say him, her, which is which, to make the sentences structure nice. Prince, you're up as well. I thought you are in... Well, you're back from Philippines, I believe, and you should be in somewhere in California, I think, last we spoke. So I'm still waiting to hear from you guys how the sound quality is, the ones who haven't responded, and letting me know where you're tuning in from, and also questions so we could start a discussion. Okay, good. Sound is good as far as Prince is concerned. And I do sometimes get red lines here. Now that I have a red line, does that make a difference in the quality of the sound that you guys are hearing? Or it's just red line for, I guess, choreography? So, I hope there's no lag or anything on the sound. And of course, I'm not broadcasting on the screen capture, video capture. Okay, Nina, good. I'm glad. Even though now that it's red line, she tells me that the sound is good. Prince tells me I get slightly choppy. It gets slightly choppy when it's red, but it was laggier before. It's mostly clear. All right, now we have it orange. So now that we got the color coordination down path, perhaps one of you could be brave enough to tell me what's on your mind and throw in a question. Ra, sounds is good. Ra, you're in California, aren't you? I thought last we spoke, we wrote you are in California, I think. Are you? Los Angeles, somewhere like that. Or am I mistaken? It's been a while. Ah, good. Okay. Now, are we going to chit chat and somebody's going to bring tea and pastries or whatnot, or are we going to have a question here? Yes, I'm trying to reach as many people. Tonight I decided to stay home and not go and do the regular thing that I would do, which is some workout and fitness and stuff like that. And I'm trying to reach more people in India, Hong Kong, Australia, Middle East, places that are far away in time zone than we usually are. Usually our live talks are in the afternoon here in Vancouver time, which makes it pretty hard for the people of 11 and more hours difference to catch up with us. So tonight, specifically, I made it late for me to make it early for India and places like Australia, Hong Kong, and so on. Obviously, Europe and the rest of us here in North America, if it's not sleeping, it's pretty much close to Europe. They're sound asleep, I believe. Princess asks, are men more physically violent inherently than women? You mean you haven't figured that out yet, Prince? I notice when guys get mad, they resort to punching. That is something that you may see, but that doesn't mean that this is how it has to be. It has a lot to do with their own level of energy or their own level of style of resolution or dealing with things, which if you want to resort to anger and punching things, and since these sort of scenarios are not limited to today or tomorrow, it's part of life and keeps coming in, then you'd be resorting to that sort of behavior, which means spending so much of your energy and you'd be drained, which is not a good thing for your general mood or general energy level. It is best to figure out most of the problems and challenges in life are mental. You know, it's not necessarily physical. So why should we respond to a mental challenge physically? If it was a physical challenge, a physical danger, so we have to use our physical body to get out of the way. If it's a wild animal or a truck is about to run us over, or if it's somebody attacking us, something dangerous, then we got to defend ourselves and use physical means to do that. But when most challenges in life are mental, having to do with relationships, having to do with schooling, test results or test preparations, having to do with dealing with bills and people who are obnoxious, or manners or morals or bureaucracies or justice, these are all mental things, emotional things. So why do we think that we can resolve something that is not visible with a tangible and physical response? Obviously, you can't cut the air with a knife. So why would you not try to understand that physical reaction to emotional energy and mental challenges would seldom work, and most often it's inappropriate and harmful to oneself or the ones who involved, and at the same time doesn't solve anything. It's just waste of energy. So although what you say might be true, but really not necessarily, because depends on what kind of a danger or interaction or action we're talking about. Although it seems like because men are men and their physical appearance is different than physical appearance of women, that doesn't necessarily mean they would have more of a violent temper if they are normal and have had a proper upbringing. Because again, such reactions comes from the way one thinks, and his emotions are in turmoil and has been stimulated. And women have their own share of anger and improper behavior and temper tantrum or whatever else that it is that you might see. So it's not a general thing that we can say yes, all men or more men or whatnot. Well, if there are, everybody is behaving physically violently, one way or another they will learn that is not the era, that is not the way, and it's not the way that it could bring the appropriate and expected positive results. Nina says, what are your thoughts on American wanting to study in Vancouver, Canada? Well, it's not about my thought about Americans studying in Vancouver. It's about anybody studying in Vancouver. But I think the reason you ask that in such a way is because Americans in America have lots of good universities. And you're wondering, is there a benefit from studying in Canada versus United States when you already have lots of good universities? I assume that is the purpose of your question. Well, Canada has offers different cultural boundaries and different cultural interaction, which is very good for anybody around the world to come and visit us. We are usually a very lawful society, very tolerable society. There are no issues here that I can see. Whatever your skin color is, whatever your religion is, whatever your beliefs are, however you look, whatever your gender is, nobody cares. Meaning everybody cares not to care. Everybody cares that you would have your rights and your tranquility and enjoy your life without pestering you or thinking that they're any better than you just because their religion or skin color or whatnot is different. In Canada, basically, from government top levels to any other level of citizenship, nobody allows anybody to behave improperly towards somebody else for the differences they have, whether it's in gender, skin color, nationality, or background, religion, or whatever else. So this is part of the culture that everybody has adhered to and accepted and protect. Everybody protects this behavior here. It is expected and it is frowned upon if someone tries to belittle any particular religion or skin color or background or whatsoever. So this is what the unique thing, one of the unique things about Canada. I sound like a tourism agent, but but it's okay. It's the truth. I've been living here in Canada for the 37 years now, almost 38. I'm proud to be in this country, contributing to its development, and it's been a good country in every way. So far, so good, as they say. So, to have an experience of lawfulness, to have experience of tranquility, discipline, and relaxation, respect, you are always welcome to experience it in any parts of Canada, including, specifically, Vancouver, British Columbia. Now, let's see. And as far as educational programs, we have beautiful schools here. There's UBC, University of Victoria, Simon Fraser University, Capilano University, many other colleges. You'll have a good experience here, as far as I can tell. Now, Olga says, maybe Mehran can see some of my messages. I asked about streaming with video. Really? I did not see it. Let's see. Let me go back here and see. Olga, last thing that I have from you says, I guess I am. Thank you. I'm thinking about questions. Ha ha ha. Voice so far so good. That's the last one. Then Olga says, is it some kind of a difficulty to stream with video? Aha. Yes, now I see it. Yeah, it was one line and it skipped over. While I was talking, I wasn't looking at the screen and it probably passed me by. Yes, I do. And I tried to figure out, is it my bitrate or not? And I tweaked it several times and I've eventually figured out how it works. But if I don't put the video on, I have a better chance to have a smoother conversation, or sound would come through smoother and less task on my CPU. That's basically what my problem has been. In the area that I live, the internet provider cannot provide more than 1 megabyte of upload. So therefore, I get 738, while maximum is 1 megabyte. So that's the maximum bitrate that I could have. So I put it at 600 in order to have a smooth. And so all the tricks that I could learn on YouTube I have, and now we have a smooth sound, so I don't want to risk it with putting the video on. That's the problem. Now it turned red, which I don't know what that means. I hope the sound is still good. Now, Hello, Prince. No, you're not. You're not late. Let's see. So we go back to where I was. And last question was, okay. Now, Shubha Lula says the sound is breaking, but still I will stick here. Okay. Olga says it is breaking for me too. Yesterday I thought I am the only one. Shubha says, is there any chance that when we are angry, we feel that real emotions and the real problems that we are facing in a relationship gets heightened in our mind? Of course it does. Because when you're angry, you don't necessarily have balance to see the reflection of what's happening clearly. It is like if you stand in front of a pond, a calm pond, and you can see clearly a reflection of whatever is flying over your head. Your own face is clearly reflected into it. But if you throw a stone or rock in it, you can hardly see what's reflected. Even though same bird is passing by, your face is still the same, lighting is still the same, but it's hard to figure out what it is because of the choppiness and the disturbance that the rock has created on the pond. And when you're angry, the blood pressure is higher, your anger limits your abilities, including your eyesight, field of vision, and your attention and focus, and you're not calm enough to reflect things properly out of anger, which could be, some of it could be result of fear of if things would change the order that you're used to, and the discrepancy or conflict or the division that is in front of you and you're dealing with your partner, or however, whatever the situation is causing you to fear if that order or mechanical process that you're used to could change, and you don't want it to change. That could bring that anxiety and fear, plus with the anger and the surprise and the ego that says, oh, I'm right, you're wrong, and the fear of not getting those desires that you want to be fulfilled through pleasure to be fulfilled. All that together will create this turmoil that you resort to maybe anger or violence, which at that point is like the pond distorted by the rock having fallen into it, and you cannot see it. But if just try something, go just mark some kind of a, maybe have your friend stand in front of you, and you go far away from your friend as far as you can, just far enough that when you're looking ahead, you can see your friend's toe in the field of your vision without directly looking at her toes or his toe, whoever your friend is. So you just stand face to face with your friend, and you back off while looking at his face, and you back off, and you can see that while you're looking at his face, you can still see his feet or her feet. And when you back off further to the point that you cannot see it anymore, just about, you can still see it, just about, you stop there. Now, the practice is you relax. You relax and think about something wonderful while you're looking ahead at your friend. You will see that you can still see her toes. Now what I want you to do is to tighten up your muscles and your facial expressions and become angry, and while you're looking at his face or her face, you will see that no longer you see her toes. And that already shows you that anger and tension limits your abilities that are naturally yours on regular and normal times, which that goes a long way in everything else pretty much, as for your sensories or concerns, or your reactions, or your ability to recognize things how you're put together to recognize with your apparatus. So naturally, that could perhaps give you some insight on that question. Humin says, hi, I didn't hear your respond to my question last time. I lost my internet. Oh, what was it? Well, everything that you have asked on the other ones, they will be uploaded. So yesterday, day before yesterday's live talk is uploaded tonight already. Yesterday's talk will be uploaded tomorrow, or was it today's talk? It will be uploaded tomorrow, and this one will be uploaded day after. So they will all be uploaded. That you can go back and figure it out and find out your question and of course the answer. And Shobha says, otherwise, which we normally tend to ignore or uncompromise upon it? Yes. Or is it just anger that exaggerates everything in our mind? Yes. As I explained, that example tells you that anger has a lot to do with us not being able to think it through and be more reasonable, because when we're angry, part of it is because of the ego, part of it because the desire is not being met, part of it because we may find that we are being neglected or deprived from a pleasure that we are used to or we expect, and part of it because of fear of losing that order and the norm of life, the mechanical process, what we are used to. And all of that brings about something unexpected. And part of it is the fact that we don't expect things to go any way different than we expected. And all that, and of course the divisions and conflicts, causes the anger. And the anger doesn't let you really see what the real solution is, where that's located, what the real problem is or challenge is. And you start trying to solve what bothers you, not the actual issue. You try to solve to bring yourself satisfaction, not to deal with the actual challenge or the issue. And then you constantly completely go derailed from the situation and just gets worse and worse because the other side is going to be doing the same thing. Humin says, I mentioned about my new wife sleeping with your son. Yes, I answered that very in detail, which I suggest to you to watch that one, because I don't really have the train of thoughts right now, but it is answered clearly in that one. So please do wait for the upload. Maybe it's already uploaded, and find the date that it was, and you will see the date of that upload, and that the answer will be there. So looks like, even though I made an effort to cater this session for people in Australia, Hong Kong, India, and the Middle East, I have not seen, other than one or two of our friends in those part of the world here. So it seems to me that if we continue having our discussions in the afternoons, as I have been doing, I haven't neglected our friends in that neck of the wood, because it's their Saturday right now. During the day, pretty much, maybe they have more time than other days, but nobody's here. So, so you guys bear witness. I tried. And Humin says, I also can't load your site to Skype with you. Well, why can't you load my site? It's mindthatseekstruth.com. www.mindthatseekstruth.com. If your computer or your laptop, your cell phone, is got a good connection and enough memory, you should be able to load up any site. And my site is nothing different about it. So just click on that site and then click on the picture you see of me and a young man. It's my son picture. And it says, talk to me for consultation. You can click there, and then you'll have your choices that you can book an appointment and we'll be in connection on Skype. Shubha says, thank you, you're welcome. So I will wait a couple of minutes. If we seem to be having no more questions, then I guess that would be a good effort from all of us to gather and have a short discussion. And my conscience is clear that I try to reach more of our friends in those parts of the world, and then we go on. Rohan says, hi Mr. Mehran, how are you doing? Good, Rohan. Thank you. Good that you could join us. Olga says, what are your thoughts about apathy? The state when one have no motivation, no dreams, no goals. I don't want to sound dramatic again. Haha, just curious. Olga, you always can maybe try this little trick with yourself to see, is it okay to have no goals, no interest, no dreams, no nothing? And if you go to extreme of what you just said, would simply mean death as we know it. So if you want to know how it feels to think what is the outcome of such feelings of no interest in anything, and to change your mind to bring you to life and to see how wonderful life and the possibilities that exist feels like, and to understand that when what you're saying is actually demeaning the value of life itself, and is not respectful to the tremendous energy and treasure that we've been given, which is the life itself, that you're undermining the gift that you've received, the treasure that you've received, every one of us have received, which is when our mom and dad were trying to give us birth and trying for procreation. Every time there was 300 million sperms produced, and out of those 300 million sperms who sped up and were racing toward ovum, only one could actually arrive and win and to unite with the seed that can give us birth. And that was you. And that was you. 300 million other possible humans sacrificed for you to be born. And now you want to say, I have no apathy. I have no interest. I have no dreams. Why do you think you're in this world then? There is a reason for you to have been the winner of that humongous prize, treasure of life. There is a reason for you to be here. You got to find that. You were born lucky and the winner and capable from the beginning. So there is no doubt that you're capable. The gene that you have is already proven to you that you are far beyond the abilities of 300 million other human beings that could have been. So you can have no doubt that you're a capable person. You can have no doubt that you are a winner to begin with. You can have no doubt that you're capable and deserving to be here because you fought for it and you got here. And you can have no doubt that life is better than the alternative. And now let's do a little test together to see and to prove to you to show you how wonderful it is to have dreams and to have energy to find what you like to do and persevere and bring your imagination to be a positive member for yourself and for this world, to help it to grow and become better. So, why don't you simply get your 2 fingers, close your mouth, and clip those 2 fingers on your nose. So plug your nose with your 2 fingers, press the nostrils together, close it, and your mouth is closed. And I want to see how long does it take before you actually say, no, 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 where I am is where I prefer to be. I don't want to have no dreams. I don't want to have expedient towards where there is no life, because I prefer life, because it feels far better than I can breathe than not. Because what you're saying is similar to be running toward the time that the nature will say, you've been living long enough, you're over 100 years old, and that's it. And when you just close your nose and stop breathing through your mouth as well, in about a couple of seconds, you can realize how wonderful it is to be here and how important it is for you to have goals, to make something out of yourself, to help others and help yourself and help this universe and nature as a whole to become a better place and with better wisdom for all of us and the ones who would follow after us. So, and Rohan says, Mr. Mehran, it's been exactly 5 months I have heard from my ex. I haven't heard from my ex-fiancé. My rational thoughts are killing me. As I imagining her happy life without me in her life makes me sad and cry. Why did you expect to hear from your fiancé? What the hell is that? You haven't heard from your fiancé who left you? Ex-fiancé, you say. What did you expect to hear from your ex? Why do you think you should have heard? What kind of expectation is that? It's finished, over. Get over with it and get on with your life and find somebody else that is compatible, more compatible to you and sticks with her words and promises. Not somebody that it becomes your fiancé, then it says, bye-bye. I found something that, I can be more lazy in that life. That's pretty much the reason. Because I assume that you're a decent person and you're not violent or abuser. So if she has already agreed to be your fiancé and changes her mind, obviously she's, found something that makes her feel a little bit more, have more toys, I guess, more money, somebody who offers that. And so obviously she wasn't of good caliber to look for bonding on consciousness level and bonding on a good relationship. She was looking for some comfort zone or somebody who can provide something of more of a material stuff for her. Or I don't know what the situation is, but that's just a guess I'm making. So get over it. Don't give her any thoughts at all. She's not the only person in this world that you can bond with and enjoy life and build something together. Don't think that these people who become exes are anything better than you just because they changed their mind and they rejected the idea of being in a relationship with you, or they left. That doesn't make them any better. It just makes them not good enough for you to appreciate who you are. Why is it that everybody who gets their partner leaving them think that the one who left is better than them? No, it's just a feeling that you have because you've been rejected, that's all. But that should give you a clear indication that the person who doesn't want you, obviously then it's not qualified to want you, to be with you. You should not allow that person to be with you because that person had a chance to get to know you and obviously was not wise enough and did not have good enough taste to take advantage of that relationship. Then it is clear to you that that is not a qualified person. Why would you want to be with someone who doesn't want to be with you or doesn't have the wisdom or the cleverness to appreciate the kind of person and quality of person that you are? Why would that make that person more interesting to you? You should actually take it as a good sign that it lets you know that that person is not qualified to participate in building anything in this life. And that's how you should think about it, and get over it. Go on, find something better for yourself. And Undertaker, Mehran, I'll give you tea. Please mind me. Where's your question? Where? You said, oh, I see another one says, is Mehran ignoring me? No, where's your question? Anyone see this? I see that now. Because you see, Undertaker, which I don't know your name is, when I'm talking, I'm not looking at the page, at the screen. And while I'm talking, somebody writes something and others write it, it just goes down, and then I just miss it. Once I finish, I'll come up and check from where I left off. So you see Undertaker, I see nothing. Oh, there is your question. Says, what is your take on pornography and how it affects real life, romantic relationships? What about masturbation? Well, what about masturbation? It's something natural, something that it's, takes care of the problem for men and women, and doesn't cost you anything. So and no time. So, well, go on, enjoy it, go crazy. And as far as pornography, well, there's good and bad about it. I guess the good of it is that it's very obvious to everybody. It just gives you the pictorial, the imagery, and the pleasure that you will receive from that, and the beauty of the woman's body that you see, and also it's erotic, and then you enjoy that. But the problem with that is too much of that. What it does, it makes you insensitive to that beauty, and it may actually make you less gorilla type when you are with the woman of your choice and you two are trying to have a good sex, because then you have constantly become insensitized, been seeing the naked body of the woman so much that it takes a lot more for you to get excited. But then the other extreme of it is also not good. And that's when we see in many countries that due to religious beliefs, they have the women totally cover themselves from head to toe and nothing can be seen. You actually don't know if it's a man there or a woman underneath those clothes. And that is also not healthy. So there has to be a happy medium, which is, a moderate, modest, properly dressed. And of course, that will keep that excitement and mystery of the beauty of woman, while it also represents her beauty by allowing that her beauty to be seen to some extent. So, moderation in everything is the key, I think. I hope that answers your question. And Olga says, okay, we talked about Olga. And and Olga says, I saw your question. Okay, you're answering Undertaker. So now Rohan says, okay, we talked about Rohan as well. So now I'm trying to catch up with the lines. So you have to find the lines. Aha, now Undertaker, you promised me tea. Where's the tea? I answered your question. Where's the tea? Princess Sir, I was wondering if you could see the comment of one of your viewers. He or she been asking you to read his or her. Yes, I did. It was Undertaker. Yes. And Rohan says, what do you think about manifestation. Manifestation of what? What are you talking about? In what sense? Undertaker says, okay, I thought you hated me. PC, no, why would I hate you, Undertaker? There's no one among the subscribers, at least, that I hate. Actually, there's no one in people that I physically know that I hate. I don't think so, really. I have to think about it. But there are characters in the world that I find them their behavior and their decision making is inhumane, and those are mostly the people in charge of many people, and they're not being kind and fair to them, and those are the people that I don't think they would benefit from my positive comments about them. So let's see what else we have here. So it looks like, guys, we have been together long enough. If you guys are okay with it, it's a good time for me to say good night. I wish you all well. Thank you for spending time with me, and we had a good conversation, and hope that we'll do it again, which I'm planning to do that almost every day, every night, if possible, at least for a while, in order to promote the channel on YouTube, and create more interest and exposure for the channel, and have more people to join us, so the subscription will go higher, so we'll end up having more and more ability to reach more and more people, and so they'll be more introduced to the site that I have, mindthatseekstruth.com, and have a chance to take a look at the books that I've written. And all those books, as you know, they're both in print, which are very expensive because they are hefty and heavy and lots of pages, and shipping is included. But I also have turned them into ebooks, which are very nominal, and everybody, I recommend to go on my site, acquire one of these ebooks, which they have a load of information in them, especially me, my psyche, and I, and enjoy the books, look at the table of contents, look at the sample chapter they can read, and promote the channel, share the videos that you like on your social media, and in that way we can get the word out that there is support available, and people can join our channel and enjoy the contents that we share. So have a wonderful day or evening. I'll talk to you guys soon, and be good to yourself and to the others. Bye for now.